Hello, everybody.
Hang on. I think we're still connected. See this thing?
I think it's figuring out.
I don't know. Hey, everybody. It's Kelly and Obie with Lunar Illuminations coming to you live from our back porch out in the rain.
Welcome to our full moon and Scorpio lesson this evening. We will let everybody get kind of signed on here as we try to figure out a new format that Facebook has for these Facebook Lives. So it's showing up a little bit differently. So we hope we'll still be able to see the comments that you make and the questions and those type of things.
Yeah, sounds good.
And I have to do something really quick.
Oh, okay. But we're out in a rainstorm, sitting out here on Kelly's back porch, trying to enjoy a little bit of the outside nature. I don't think the rain or thunder is too bad, but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys' comments and kind of getting into this very, very powerful last super moon of the year.
There you go. Known as the pink moon that we found in some of the research.
Yeah, or the flower moon. Yeah, it's been called the flower moon because obviously it hits the seasonal target to what's going on with the beautiful blooms out there. So, hey, Diana. Now we can start seeing what we were a little worried we weren't going to be able to see comments. So, good to see you, Diana.
Are you seeing who signs on?
I can see that she commented. I can't see.
So we may not be able to welcome you on whenever you get on. We may not be able to see with this new format that you sign on. So it'd be great if you'd say hello, I'm here, howdy, whatever. It's always good to see who's out there in Facebook land joining us for this lesson. Because it's very interesting. I think I really want to start by asking, people to think about, have you been in your feelers a lot today? Because Scorpio is a really powerful moon. Very powerful full moon. Wow, I think we just saw a little flash of lightning there.
Yeah.
So we do have a rainstorm going on around us. So let's hope we keep power and all of that. Right on cue.
Right on cue.
There's our thunder. But with Scorpio, it's just a very powerful and transformative full moon.
Yes.
It is really divinely feminine and full of feelings.
That's because it's divinely feminine.
Exactly. And you are sitting here with a Scorpio. So I relate to so many things about this full moon lesson. You just can't even imagine.
Nope. Lots of feelers. Hey, Amanda. Amanda's joined us.
Awesome.
Good to see you online.
So lots of feelings coming up with Scorpio. Scorpio is full of feelings, but also has that, ability to fight the demons as they come up. Because we know things come up, demons come up, and Scorpio is willing to face those. Scorpio has a great focus on the future, has a great retrospective of the past, and is really rooted in the present. So this full moon in Scorpio is asking you to be present and be present with your feelings. Ooh, that's a big order, isn't it?
Diana said she's been in her feelings for the past 2 days.
Oh.
And I've been shocked at just the pieces of this that I do, how much dark side. I'm getting in touch with the dark side. And I was amazed when I chose the stones weeks ago that all the stones were dark in color. All black stones.
Yes.
Even some of the others I could have chosen. So anyway, Kelly's done the lesson, and we're looking forward to getting your feedback and getting your feelings on it.
Yeah, and feel free to add any comments in the comment section, asking questions, or if you're relating to some of this, we'd love to hear feedback on that. If you're experiencing inner turmoil right now, that is really about not being willing to face some of those fears. And so Scorpio is a lot about going in. Introspection, looking at feelings, looking at our fears, and addressing those. And so if we're not willing to do that, if we're trying to distract, playing on the computer, it's my game on my phone. But if we're trying to distract from that, that will cause some inner turmoil. So it's really important because this intensity, it's not about anxiety. Anxiety is more about fear about the future. And this fear is more about being in the present. But what fear can tell us is what is really important to us. So when we have, we have this whole spectrum of emotions. And so we have like the lower frequency emotions that, well, kind of make us feel lethargic, and that could be fear, anxiety, grief, sadness, and we want to tune into those higher frequencies of joy and contentment and serenity and peace and those type of things. And so, but when we're looking at fear, it really is just part of our shadow self. So when you think about a shadow, when you illuminate it, when you put light on it, it goes away. So when we can really put light and focus and look at those fears, we can make them our friends. They disappear, they transform, they're not fear anymore.
There's lessons to be learned.
There's lessons to be learned in that fear. Lessons in listening to that, because it can show us, what is really important to us, what our fears are. And it was really interesting because when we were driving home tonight, I was like, I haven't really had any fears come up. And usually I have quite a few things come up that go with the lessons. And so I hadn't had any big feelings come up, and I was kind of like, oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. And because I usually have a personal example. Well, I checked my Facebook memories, and there is a memory from a friend who's passed. And it's from several years ago, thanking me for sharing pictures and how much that meant to him. And oh my goodness, this sadness and grief overcame me. And I was just like, oh, I was like, oh, there's my feelers. And the thing is, like, where we can transform fear, we can transform that into trust. Because when we really look at what we fear, then we learn to trust in our intuition, trust in our path, trust in ourselves. So with our grief, if we can tap into our grief and embrace that, we can transform it into creativity. And what I realized in just that, it was a pretty quick moment. That grief that I felt was because of my fear of losing my loved ones, fear of my time here on this earth, So it makes me want to get creative and come and share this lesson with you. It made me get more excited about this lesson because our time here is short. And that's really one of people's biggest fears, is their limited time on earth, our own mortality. And so if we can, embrace that grief, we can transform that in creativity. Same thing with anxiety and excitement. They're kind of on that same string in the brain. And so think about like when you're starting a new job and you feel that feeling in your gut and I'm so anxious about starting this, I'm so nervous. But if you could just tap into, oh, that's also where I feel excitement. That I feel that in my gut. And so because they're connected on that string on the brain, you can shift that anxiety to excitement a lot easier than you could, shift anxiety to hope, And so really this is all about transforming and how we take those deep-seated fears, those deep-seated feelings, we embrace them, we make them our friends, and then we transform them so they can move us further on our path. And so really that, that energy of Scorpio is about transformation. Now, we have Scorpio and, full moon in Scorpio, but we also still have the sun in Taurus. We just, talked about the new moon in Taurus a couple of weeks ago. And so we've got both of those lessons going on right now. And so both Taurus and Scorpio really encourage us to focus in the present, but they kind of do it in a different way. So Scorpio, is about teaching us to go inward, in order to be present. And then Taurus kind of taught us about going out into nature and connecting, having gratitude, noticing the little things to get, to the present. So they have different ways of going about it. But, this gift in this cycle is really to connect to that inner energy, whether you're doing it from the outside in, out in nature, or you're doing it from that delving in, and so the inside out, but connecting to that universal energy. If we connect to our own energy, then we can connect and know that we're one with the universe and be connected with that universal energy. And that kind of gives me goosebumps, because that's kind of that secret to, knowing that that we're all one and that we're all connected. And I think this global, situation that we have been in reminds us of that, most definitely. And so I think that there's a great lesson to be learned in that. One of the things that we have to realize, though, is anytime we have a full moon, new moon, that we have these high, energies, this, transformational energies, but they're also lower energies. And so we have to take a look at that and what that brings to us. So Scorpio, whenever you get caught in those low energies of Scorpio.
Hey, Ariel.
Welcome, glad you're joining us. So yeah, as you guys log on, we're not able to see who's logging on and when. So if you'll say a little hi, that'd be great, because then we know that you're there. But the low sides of Scorpio are getting caught up in distraction, obsession, anxiety, worrying about what other people think. And I was like, oh, yeah, I truly am a Scorpio. I think I've battled that my whole life. And really, one of the interesting things is that Scorpio in the low energy can get stuck in this transformation cycle, often changing to please other people. So that chameleon thing, which I really related to in my younger years. And so, Scorpio can be this rising phoenix, but it rises over and over again when she just needs to fly, just really needs to connect to herself. So that low energy, you can get caught in some of that. The same thing with Taurus. Taurus leans toward that obsession, but more over finances and material things, and trying to accumulate and, fretting about the future and worrying. What they both lack is being present.
Hey, Casey.
So, so when you get in the lower energies of Taurus and Scorpio, it's about not being present, not being connected with nature. And so we really, at this time, are challenged to take a look at these lower sides, of both Scorpio and Taurus. And I know we go over them kind of fast, so you can go back, on Facebook, we'll have this video posted, but to just kind of look and see, and it's like, oh, do I get, caught up in that anxiety? Do I get caught up in distractions? Do I get caught up in pleasing other people or focusing on money? So look at those, because you can work to let those go, these low energies over the full moon. Now, they may not all disappear just by saying I'm ready to let them go, but what you can do is you can be aware of them, and that awareness is that first step in letting them go. Awareness is the first step in changing any kind of behavior. And so by going deep into our feelings and becoming aware of these things, noticing these lower energies, we can transform them and let them go. And so, really taking time to let the Scorpio full moon, break down some of those things that, make you feel disempowered, that don't make you feel connected. Break down some of those things inside of you so that you really can start shining, and embracing that transformation. And to help with some of this healing and transformation, Obie's going to talk about the full moon kits, but I wanted to give a couple of little tips. Lots of times when we're asking for energy to help us in diving deeply into some of this stuff, because it can be a little scary. I mean, like I said, it is about fear. It's about facing our fears. And so diving down deep into those. So if you have oracle cards, medicine cards, something like that you want to draw and ask some questions, you can ask questions like, what kind of energy do I need to help me feel present with my deepest emotions? Or what kind of energy do I need that will help me understand and make friends, with my fear? And what kind of energy do I need? What card do I need that will help me transform these emotions and find freedom? Because by embracing those feelings, which, we tend to run from them, and so if we can embrace them, but then look at the things underneath them and work to transform them into those higher vibrational feelings and energies. We become free. And so Obie, every new moon and full moon cycle, he puts his creativity to use. I know a lot of you guys on here tonight get both the new moon and the full moon kits. So he's going to talk about what is in the kits and how they can help you with this transformation.
But it's really interesting because we've been doing this format for a while. Now, especially with the new moons, we prefer to do live. We prefer to have a gathering. And with COVID, we've gone to 2 online ones. And I've already been encouraged that even when we go back to doing live gatherings, that we still do a live video for those that can't be there and those that can watch the lessons later on. And, but the kits, we do a large new moon kit. Kelly and I are a little more connected to new moon than we are the full moon. A lot of people like that. And we talked about it earlier in the video. When I really ordered these stones and tried to get them early, they're all dark stones. They're all black stones. I've never had a month or a moon, a new moon or full moon, that everything was just black. And so it was interesting. Hematite could have been used. Shingite can be used. Smoky quartz was the lightest of the dark ones. Hey, Rhonda. And the one of the first stones that came in the kit specifically was some beautiful tourmaline, very natural tourmaline cut. I went with bold natural cut stones this time. It's a very grounding stone. It can be used when energies are scattered and confused, and it quickly bringing awareness back to the present moment. And that's what's so interesting about how we do this format. Kelly does a lot of the work and uses some of the resources that got us on this path in studying, and I go at the stones and I go at the setting and the fragrances and the scents and the teas. And it's amazing because we don't do that work together until we're live in front of you. And I'm like, oh, that's why that's a stone for that.
We don't have a trial run. There's no dress rehearsal. We were sitting down at the computer with 90 seconds.
Yes.
To go, because I worked all day today. Obie's been out delivering kits all day.
Yeah, I felt like a dealer. I called myself a spiritual dealer today. But again, it's just really interesting how that kind of comes together for us. I had to get up and move my notes because I got tired of looking way up, away from the camera. For those that got cards on the tourmaline, that card specifically mentioned it as a path for light to enter the earth plane. And I thought that was a real mystical way to look at it. It's this nature that makes this such a protective stone. Okay? And it's an interesting thing in our relationship. I do a lot of jewelry. I do a lot of jewelry gift giving and stuff. And then we go kayaking a lot. We go backpacking, and Kelly wears the same dang necklace all the time.
Tourmaline.
And it's because it's black tourmaline. Anybody knows Kelly, she's a little accident prone. And
my protection.
And so she wears the black tourmaline specifically for that. And again, it's a great stone against negativity of all sorts. Physically, it can help remove toxins, purify the body. They say it's very useful in treating jet lag. Use of it can, if you have a collection of tourmalines, I found this really cool. I was gifted Annie Lansdowne. When you watch this video, she's probably resting, but she watches it about 4 a.m. When you watch this, get a great book. And I specifically looked up both these stones in some of the new books that she provided us today. If you have a collection of tourmalines and you put them across the grid of a body, it's been known to actually realign and balance your bones and your spine.
Wow.
Removing muscle tension, improving balance. So really a great, powerful stone. Several people, when delivering the stones today, had this in their hand and had that jolt of great energy. So again, black obsidian, kind of pull it a little closer.
Tourmaline or obsidian?
Excuse me. Thank you, tourmaline. I'm getting ready to go to obsidian. But again, a very beautiful, got nice striations in there on that stone. But the stone that I like the best was the beautiful obsidian. It's a rough cut natural obsidian. For those of you who are nerds like me, you could call it dragon glass. And I think I mentioned that it can be used to slay White Walkers, but it's a very translucent stone. The Native Americans would use it to make arrowheads and knives. I've got a beautiful obsidian blade that's just for spiritual purposes. But dragon glass, it's what I call it. It's really volcanic glass. This is made by a rapid cooling of lava. So it forms this. It's an extremely effective grounding, but stone also. But its primary use, here we go, is the ability to draw hidden imbalances to the surface and release them. So if you think about Kelly's lessons, hey April, it specifically, the cards mention this as help illuminate and cleanse negative patterns from the aura.
We did not, we didn't corroborate on this illumination because we're lunar illuminations.
No.
It really is a big part of this.
It is.
Full Moon's lesson.
It's amazing. It's recognition of our darker sides that makes it such a great tool in transformation. This is a stone of transformation. It's a tool for it. Transformation wasn't specifically listed on the cards, but it's all those things that the properties of the stone that make it such a great tool for transformation. It has a lot of psychic connection, a lot of psychic protection, and a lot of spirit communication strengths. If you look through history, obsidian has been used to make mirrors and spheres that are used for fortune telling. That's called, normally you look at these scrying mirrors that have been around and are used for a lot of spiritual searching and communicating with the higher spirit. So it's a great, very, very powerful, beautiful stone. Really, really cool. Those that got the kits, it was fun. They kind of put some of the other things together. On the full moon, since we only do 2 stones in the full moon bags, I've kind of gotten this the second time in a row. Well, I think we're going to do it for a year at least.
Because so many people liked
tea.
The tea bags.
So last month, the last full moon was a Libra. It is Scorpio tea, and it was really kind of fun to put this one together because though I found a kind of a base recipe, I had trouble getting the things I wanted. So I kind of had to become a mix master of my own.
Tea mix master.
So again, it's a really interesting recipe of black tea with some dried blackberries and roasted hazelnuts, which I roasted myself and ground, and some sage. And it's interesting of all those, black tea is all about courage. It banishes boredom. It can be used for, again, you talked about how the Taurus and the Scorpio energies work together. People look for abundance with that. Mm-hmm. And so they use it in money spells or money wishing and abundance wishing. It stimulates the conscious mind and in more ways than coffee. It's said, the Japanese say that black tea is good for that. Blackberry, abundance. It's a grounding and a protective plant. If you look through history, shamans would braid and twist blackberry vines and then stiffen them into magical staffs that were meant that were supposedly great to be guiding you on the trail. And so those are some really interesting.
Are you going to get some of those for us?
I don't know. No, trail? There's a lot of thorns.
Do we need those backpack in April?
No, those are a lot of thorns.
You go with us?
I have a dog for that. We don't need that. Hazelnut, all about luck and abundance. So we've got a real good theme going. And again, I researched these after I made a tea that was decent. And then I find what each of the components can bring. And then sage. What's interesting about sage in a tea, it balances really well with the blackberry. If you smell your tea bag, guys, it's got a very strong hazelnut scent. And I'm not a hazelnut fan. But when you taste the tea, I just my 4th try on the recipe, but the sage and the blackberry together really, really go well. And, sage internally is actually supposed to use it very limited. Sage is obviously used in some cooking, but it's not a very popular cooking herb. But internally, in teas and elixirs, you're not supposed to use a lot of sage. It's not really all that great. It's not poisonous. It's not great for internally. But what's amazing about its internal use, it has the exact same properties as burning sage. It's cleansing. It's grounding. It's spiritual connectivity. That use in the tea provides, just like burning sage, for ritual or cleansing a room or just kind of cleansing bad energy. So it was a perfect kind of a tea mix. I didn't realize it until I studied it. I didn't provide a lesson last time I did.
That's that intuition that comes into play. Yes. Whenever, we put these together. Obie does a great job of gathering and coming up with the items. He gets all the credit. I do a little bit of labor, but you can't find good healthy
when
things.
It comes to color, yeah. we had dinner with friends the other night ago, and you know who you are. You guys weren't any good on the line of bagging this stuff up. The other thing is I tend to like to try and provide fragrances. And on the new moon, I've got some clear guidance in some of the resources we use about the fragrances or the textures or the shapes. On the full moon, I don't have as much resource, so I had to do a lot of research with it. And tried, I don't have the best nose. If you think I'm terribly colorblind, I am, but when it comes to my nose, I might be just as worse. But it really came a great combination there. We used a little bit of juniper berry. It's very purifying. It's got sanctifying properties. I used cardamom seeds. And here's where I was laughing at myself typing this up. It's an herb of passion. It's an aphrodisiac. So don't be snorting that stuff, Scott. It's probably not on mine. It's an attract love. It's very sexual attraction. Cardamom seeds are.
Well,
and if you read about the Scorpio,
very
exactly,
passionate,
they're extremely passionate, a very sexual sign. If you will, if you do much astrology work and this and that, put some wild orange in there. That was my ad. It's uplifting and revitalizing. So as you're battling these internal views and this and that, it just seemed to be a really good balance with it to put some orange peel in there. And then some chamomile. That was my choice. I need something to calm all this Scorpio angst down. We need to calm that stuff down. So it was a great kit to put together. I've got a few. I think I only have 2 tourmalines left. So our Etsy shop, or if you're from Facebook, you just hit shop now if you're interested in those kits. $7 is a good price for the kit for those stones and for those things.
Most of them are really big stones.
Yeah. The ones I've got left are medium size, but they're really, really just a great kit to put together, guys. And I know that us here locally may not get much of the moon view tonight, but maybe by the morning
the tornado sirens, so that's good.
Absolutely, we'll take it.
Yes.
We'll take it.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
So, we're really glad that you guys have joined us. Like I said, we really hope in the next couple of months that we can start having, live gatherings, but we'll continue to do the Facebook Live at the gatherings.
Yeah.
So those of you that aren't able to come in person, you can do that because we do miss that live interaction with our peers. We, get a lot of, feel goods. From that. And I keep saying I'm going to have a hug party when this is all over.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure missing all of those hugs.
Hey, Casey.
So, what I want you guys to really embrace during this full moon tonight, if you get a chance to take some quiet time or just in the next few days over the weekend, in this cycle to just really allow yourself to be present and to feel into some of those fears that may be driving some of your decisions and your reactions and things like that, so that you can uncover the gifts.
Hey, Renee.
Well, hello. Oh, my goodness.
Our Ohio friend.
So good to see you, Renee. See your name. You don't get to see your face. That's what I miss about the Zoom.
There's a little bitty face on that icon. It's real tiny. But
take some time to really feel into some of those feelings and work to transform them. If you're coming on late, you can watch the video and get some of these tips and some of these lessons, about how to connect and transform some of those lower vibrational feelings into those higher vibrational. Only way to do them is to feel them, but we can, once we feel them and embrace them, we can transform those.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff going on. The full Scorpio moon is pretty amazing with the energies that she brings into this time. So hold on for the ride.
Yeah, the actual time of the full moon was at 5:45 Central Time this morning. I wasn't up very late last night, but I did get a little bit of peek at the moon on clear weather. It was beautiful. It's powerful. Again, the last super moon of the year. And it's said to be the most powerful full moon of all of them. So Kelly's got that bragging rights.
There you go, Scorpio.
And I do want to mention that we kind of Kelly was ill last month, and we didn't get the meditation that we've really enjoyed filming and mixing sent out. And we were going to do one last night. We had people at the house, and it just hasn't happened. We will try to get a Scorpio meditation for some of this work filmed in the next 24, 48 hours and get that out there on our YouTube channel and here. And, it's a great moon. It's a great thing. It talks about, there's a lot of darkness with that, but realize it's all guiding you to a transformation, adolescent.
But the darkness is the shadow. And remember that anything that we see as this darkness inside of us, it's a shadow. And if we illuminate, think about when you shed a light, turn a light on a shadow, it transforms, it's gone.
Renee's exactly right. Go with the flow.
You got it. You got it.
Absolutely. And Scorpio, it's a water sign, right? I believe so. Mm-hmm. And so works well with that.
And we really appreciate you guys joining us for these lessons. If there are other things that you would like to see and hear about, we're very open to feedback. There's things that you'd like to see. That's how we started, developing. We put candles in the new moon kits based upon feedback, did more teas because that's what you guys enjoy. So let us know what you think about, anything that we do, live presentations or on Facebook or any of our products. We're very open to feedback. Yeah. So we hope you check out our Etsy store. You can get to it through our Facebook page. You can also view our previous videos on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank some of the regular customers that we see, Diana, April, there's people on our Etsy site, and they really are rating us really well and giving good feedback on that. I've had a couple of shaman reach out about the calendars and with some good feedback. So one from Utah, who's a practicing shaman who loves the yearly calendar. And so it's going well, and
living the dream.
Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to mention, because we're early, let's talk about New Moon for a minute.
Wow.
Let's talk about it for a minute.
Okay, let's talk about it.
In the COVID thing, we were picking up, I was with a friend, and I went to a local liquor store. Apparently there's no shortage of liquor in the whole situation. We ran out of toilet paper. Now we're running out of wasp spray. And I'm blaming you, Renee, and you and Laura for the whole wasp spray thing. But again, not a shortage there. But while in the liquor store, I found hand sanitizer. And I haven't seen hand sanitizer for a month and a half, right? It seems like we haven't been able to. And I bought this hand sanitizer. And I used some of it today because I was out doing some stuff. And it really smells like tequila. It just smells. It was actually made from a liquor distributor, and I think what they've done is they've taken bad tasting alcohol,
turned it into the.
And it's 80% alcohol, so it's actually listed antiseptic. It's got the actual antiseptic label,
right?
or FDA approved label for such things. So it's had a study done, and who knew.
Has not had any study.
It has had no studies. I don't have the money for that. I know I've got some people that they connected it into the food industry that have the ability to test and culture and do all kinds of stuff. I'm not looking to do that with my spirit water, but it is. Almost 90% of the recipe is alcohol, and that alcohol is a pretty high percentage of itself, pure ethanol. So not saying I'm advertising new as antiseptic, but it smells a heck of a lot better than the stuff I bought for Kelly in the car. So I'm going to put a spray bottle of new.
Well, and we, new is perfect for cleansing
air.
We keep it in the car, for road rage. Whenever you're feeling funky, spray some. You could, the bottles that aren't spray, you could just pour a little bit on your hand and just clear it out. And so really great. And the aromas and the mixtures that Obie has come up with have been amazing. And the latest one sold out.
Yeah. Angie's spring equinox limited edition sold out. Getting ready to take pre-orders on Kelly's.
So you guys, if mine doesn't sell out and Angie's did, I'll be so disappointed.
Yes, that's true. But yes, Renee, it's well above 62%. It smells wonderful. and it smells a lot better than the stuff I bought you.
There you go.
So again, had a little bit of fun with the new nanny there. It's not available in this shop, but you can find it on the Facebook and whatnot. Sure enjoy mix mastering that as well, and we sure enjoy just doing this with you guys. It means a lot to us, and we look forward to the next time we do this, guys, and take care of each other.
Thanks for joining us. You know, our hearts go out to you, those that we haven't been able to see in person. We can't wait.
Yep.
And really think I am going to have a hug party.
Thanks for the love, Renee, from Ohio. So again, good to see everybody. We appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us.